And now what we've been waiting for, the 2020 Explorer ST, the hot rod. This is a twin-turbo 3-liter V6, 400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. Has a top speed of 143 miles an hour. Very close to what the Police Interceptor is. And it has a 10-speed automatic. The big brakes. It has the most power of any of the Explorers available. If you have a short bed truck, you know it's not easy to hook up to a gooseneck. Pop-Up came out with these extensions from 9 inches to 16 inches to keep you from breaking out your back window when you're pulling a gooseneck trailer. And everybody uses a short bed. That's the most proper truck there is a crew cab short bed. So protect that window.
Yeah, there you go. Keep flexing that bicep there. Now, I am with Ed
Krenz.
Ed Krenz, and you're like the big ST Performance guy, or what is your title?
So I'm a chief engineer, Ford Performance.
Chief engineer. Oh, wow. So you're probably involved in Mustangs and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so I have moving between jobs, both in Ford Performance, both chief engineer. But on this program, I was responsible for all of the engineering I am responsible for all the engineering of performance variants. So
Cool.
whether it be chassis engineers, powertrain engineers, noise and vibration performance, vehicle dynamics, those are my responsibility. And that goes across Raptors, Shelbys, STs, RSs, everything.
So you're used to leaning on corners and flying and burning
Yeah,
rubber and all that stuff.
well, I'll say I'm used to having really talented people work for us that do that stuff extremely well.
Well, this is the 3-liter EcoBoost twin turbo, right?
That is
And
correct.
it's got the high power, so it is a 415. It's 400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque.
That is correct. It's a performance-tuned version of the 3-liter. Performance comes from a high-flow unique exhaust system
Yeah.
on the ST, which gives you a couple things, including more powertrain presence, so you'll be a more noticeable exhaust sound, powertrain sound, which we like on the STs. Also enables a performance calibration to deliver the 400 horsepower.
Oh, cool. Well, that's so this has all these modes, so you can put it in sport mode and get really crazy with it.
We have 7 modes. The mode dial is new for this generation of Explorer.
And the knob, huh?
And we also have the gear select knob, right? So
Yeah, I saw those in the Expedition. They're getting to be popular.
plenty
Everybody wants a
plenty of knobs to choose from.
That's true. Well, that's good. I'm a knob fan. I don't like on the fan. You have to push a button. You know, I'm used to trucks and bouncing down the road trying to push a button drives me nuts.
Yeah, so we find one of our on our super high performance vehicles, a lot of the mode controls are on the steering wheel, so you don't have to detract vision.
Right.
This also serves that purpose of very easy to actuate the mode knob without looking at it.
Right.
And it all pop up in the cluster.
That's cool.
So you're not distracted in any way trying to find the right drive mode.
There's no heads-up display on anything.
No heads up on these.
Okay. Cool. Now, and the hood is kind of weird. You got to pull the tab twice. That means you don't have to look for that little fish thing to open the hood.
Yeah, all of our favorite thing to do is try to find that yellow latch in the dark.
I know. I have like 4 trucks, and I'm always trying to remember where is that stupid thing in the middle or the side or.
Yeah.
Well, now how much aluminum is in this? Is the hood aluminum?
Hood is aluminum, tailgate is aluminum, and then a lot of lightweight, high-strength materials like boron, ultra high-strength steel.
Yeah.
And then the front, some front of the chassis is aluminum as well. So a lot of well-positioned, lightweight material.
Well, that is too cool. I love this. I love the push button start. That makes me happy. This is a nice refined layout. I like the dash, the way it sits on here. Now, maybe you can tell me unless we're going down the road, but you've done all these things to create space, and this is the first year you went to a rear-wheel drive, which I'm a fan of rear-wheel drives, but especially in Colorado when you got to have the all-wheel drive, and this does all those automatic things for switching. But you were telling me that you had to go to rear-wheel drive because where you put the axles moved everything out to the corners. And so I guess that wouldn't line up with the transverse kind of a setup.
Yeah, so one of the one of the challenges of a east-west architecture from an engine perspective is it does force your front wheels backward, rearward in
To
vehicle.
line up, yeah.
So certainly one of the motivations to flipping the engine to a north-south configuration was to allow us to push all the wheels to the corners, which is, it wasn't done for the performance derivative, but certainly is directionally correct for a performance vehicle. That we work on.
Rear wheel drive always seems to get crazy. I can do my drifting, do all my fun stuff. But
So, yeah, absolutely. So one of the measures of the success of that, right, is moving the wheels forward, moving the engine back in the vehicle. We've moved the battery basically to the cowl. We've achieved a nearly balanced vehicle from a weight distribution.
weight-wise, yeah.
So we're at 51 in the front, 49 in the rear, and that's it's nearly perfect, nearly exactly where we want to be. So.
oh, that's good. That sounds like a sports car kind of a configuration. Well, that's and then also, of course, it gave you more room in the back. I mean, look at it from the outside, it looks lower and it looks longer, but it's not.
Yeah, so it has an optical illusion, if you will, of the vehicle being wider and lower. In reality, the shadow area of the vehicle itself is almost identical to the last generation Explorer, but the wheelbase is longer.
It's got a good look to it, and look at the grill. I know it's an Explorer. I mean, I know the new Blazer's a big thing, but it does not relate to an old Blazer at all. I mean, that's a fine vehicle, but I mean, I like the heritage when I get something like this. You guys have never had a year where you didn't make the Explorer from, 1991, so it's always been around, been a very popular vehicle. I've always liked it. I mean, I've had Bronco too, so I kind of had its grandfather. But anyway, these are spacey, but so now you actually have more room in that middle row, right? Don't you have more leg room now than you had before?
Yeah, there's more passenger room. Plus, we have sliding second row seats.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Sliding second row seats, so the people in the third row, if we have individuals like us in the third row, which we easily could do.
Oh, I'm a heavy duty reporter.
Yeah, we could easily be sitting in the third row doing this discussion.
Yeah.
Second row will allow you to slide back and forth to accommodate that. You have all full flat seats back there, right? So you have the full cargo capacity. You can now put in a 4-foot wide piece of building material, flat in, which is part of the motivation for how the cup holders are designed in the second and third row.
Yeah.
So the vehicle itself is, the guys will say it very human centric, right? So we looked at how it was being used. The example of the deleting the hood latch is an example of what we call a pain point in terms of using a vehicle. Not something you don't wake up in the morning and say, I really want to go try to find that hood latch.
I know.
So it's a real good example of how the Ford team approached this vehicle.
Yeah, this is an all independent suspension, so each corner moves by itself, which is nice in the back because I've noticed on the cutout there that the differential's right up against the floor. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to have all that room for wheel travel. Correct. So that makes all your efficiencies and space really good back there. I think that's awesome. But now we need to go out and burn some rubber. Don't we? Go out and burn some rubber.
Yeah, we've got the summer tires, so let's go see what they can do.
Yeah, see if these Michelins will grab. We'll take off here. But no, this is a good looking vehicle. I mean, this thing really is sharp with all the black accents it has, the black grille, the red brake calipers. Good.
Yeah, so in terms of the exterior styling, which you commented on, that is...
Oh, this way?
Yeah. No, actually you're right.
Go this way.
Straight. That's a one-way.
Yeah, here comes the old boat.
One of our 4 pillars of what makes an ST an ST is some of the appearance characteristics. And really 3 things that we're trying to sort out when we do appearance, right? One is there should be a family resemblance across STs.
Yeah, I think so too.
If we took the badge off and set up our Focus, Fiesta, and Edge, and Explorer, all the STs all together, I think you would recognize they come from the same bloodlines.
Oh yeah.
So that's critical to us. Secondly, it's form follows function, right? So we're not into doing a lot of stuff, a lot of shiny things.
Yeah.
So an example of that is some of the prior generation sports would have the scuff plate light up when you open the door.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We sort of forego that because it doesn't help the performance of the vehicle. and we invest our resources into things that help the vehicle perform.
Yeah, the ST is such a sharp looking truck. I mean, I'm a chroma fan too, but most people now want the monochromatic colors and all that, and that's the most popular way to go. And it just looks mean. It looks tough.
And that's exactly. And that's the third thing is it has to be aspirational. It has to be something you want. And if you go back to the prior generation sports on Explorer and Edge, they were super successful, even though they weren't an integrated performance product.
Right.
Because they had some of the appearance elements and a big engine, right? So certainly the appearance of the products and being sporty, if not menacing, is certainly one of the targets we have across our design language for STs.
Does any of these come in just two-wheel drive, or are they all four?
They're all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive. Yeah, which might go in that one.
Right.
Okay. Yeehaw! Oh, feel the thunder! What's a nice suspension? It holds you tight. It doesn't, jar you, but it's firm.
Yeah, so
like
tight's the word. I like it. Really, the goal here was not to be offensive on ride, but certainly bias the tuning for steering and handling. So, we increased the roll damping.
I should watch this thing.
We increased the roll damping, so when you do things like that speed bump or some of these twisties, you really have a lot of body control. You feel connected.
Yeah, that was nice and level. That's what you want.
Same thing with your brake. You do a hard brake. We want to keep the vehicle planar.
This is bigger brakes than the regular Explorer. Are they the same?
Yeah, correct. We have a performance brake package. Really, 2 levels. The first level, so the base ST is shared with say Platinum, and then from there you can the package will get you into a brake that's common with Police.
Okay.
And that's gives you more thermal mass capacity, so an 18 millimeter bigger rotor in the front and about 30 millimeter bigger rotor in the rears. And really that gets to the point of thermal capacity mitigates fade.
Okay.
And another one of our 4 pillars is an ST brings a promise of sustained capability. So all of our products, you can go out and do something once or twice. An ST needs to last all day long. Yeah, we're going to drop to 25 here.
Well, that's cool. I mean, this is what you want. You got the performance in the suspension. You got the more power in the engine on this model, and you've got all the stuff you want to just have fun on an open road. And you can go plow snow too. Not with these tires probably, but the other tires that are optional.
Well, you can pull your boat. Yeah, you can look at this car 2 ways. One is you can take your toys somewhere because you got the space, or it is the toy.
So will this tow 5600? Is it one of the top end ones?
Yes, it will.
So that's okay. That's like the limited and all those. Well, I guess it's the Platinum.
Yep, no compromise.
With the 3-liter twin turbo V6. That's what I have in my pickup. I love my twin turbo. Eco Boost. Well, that's awesome. So now, that would be 5,600 pounds. Anytime you add something to a vehicle, it's easier to justify it with the wife, for the payments. So you say, honey, we can go haul a boat on weekends and haul the kids to kindergarten fast.
Yeah, you can get. Yeah, if you can leave late and at 143 mile per hour top speed, you can still get the kids to school on time.
Well, certainly 143, I ought to be able to get somewhere. But yeah, that's just too cool.
It is. Its top speed is a little bit less than the police vehicle, so I just, as an advertisement to our customer, you won't be able to outrun the police.
Can't outrun them. Well, I got my son's father-in-law is a mechanic for a county, and so he works on the police cars. And he said on the EcoBoost, the previous one had the 3.5. Said they were burning tires up left and right. They were trying to figure out a way to detune them so that their guys wouldn't go nuts with them. But it's fun to go out and school tires, but the cops get to do it legally, and so that's what they do. But that's awesome. Yeah, this would be a fun cruiser. Yeah, I can see that.
Tires are replaceable. They're meant to be used.
I suppose that's true. So are these Z rated, or what are they rated for that speed? Which I don't even know which number. I know the Z was pretty high, close to 150. But I don't know
that I have to check the speed. We have the Michelin guys here. We can talk to them.
Oh, cool. That's a good idea, because I want to talk to them about the hybrid tires, because they use that low rolling resistance.
The self-sealing tires.
But the low rolling resistance makes them ride a little rougher. I had them on my Fusion. And I can tell on that one. I drove that yesterday, the hybrid, and it rode a little rougher. It rode rougher than this did. and it felt like a truck to me. And I think that has to be. I roll low rolling resistance. I'll talk to Mitchell and see if I can narrow that down.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad ride, but I can tell a difference. I'll drive the Platinums and all the other ones today and see what difference those. The sidewall height is a difference too on how they ride. But no, this one's just a fun vehicle here. And paddle shifters. How could you not want paddle shifters? Let's see. Manual 6.5. I have paddle shifter on my side-by-sides. I get a kick out of it. Oh, that is so cool. You can really go out and have some fun. Get on a track. Go auto-crossing. Whoa! And it sounds good, too. It almost sounds like a V8.
It's
got a good rumble to it. It's a low tone.
Yeah, it's got some low frequency.
Is it augmented?
All of our Ford Performance products have an enhancement.
Okay.
So this one's not unique. The enhancement doesn't change the character. Like it doesn't make a V6 sound like a V8. That is never the goal. It's just to provide more of a linear response to your throttle input.
What's nice with a paddle shifter, it also tells me what gear I'm in. I really like that. The trucks that do that. And Ford's one of the biggest ones on actually telling you what gear, which I think is good to know. So that way when you're driving, you get experience, you know where your RPM band is versus which gear you add, and you can really adjust your driving. So no, that's all good. And then it shuts off when you're not using it, so it's good.
And one of the pleasantries of this vehicle is with our 10-speed transmission. You have a lot of gears to choose from manually.
Yeah.
But they're also, the ratios are very well spaced out. So you get a very consistent, as you go up and down the transmission, very consistent on shift points.
Well, that's good. That's good. And then this has tow haul modes when I'm hauling that trailer. And then, I got cooling on the transmission. I can hold my gears longer. I mean, all that is the good stuff.
And we're in normal mode now, but as you go into sport mode, it'll change the transmission character pretty significantly.
I'm in normal. I'm in eco, sport. Oh, there's 7 modes.
7 modes.
Holy cow, how many more things can you do? Okay, there is sport. There is tow haul. What's after tow haul? I'm running out of stuff.
You got to go back the other way.
Oh, I see. It's
not a continuous loop.
Okay. Slippery. All right. It's trail. Oh, you can take this off road. Whoa. Wow, that is cool. It's kind of like a Raptor decides how to adjust everything for whatever mode I'm in. Deep snow and sand. This has got, 10 inches of clearance?
I believe it was 8+ inches of clearance.
Okay. Make sure I don't get
which is more than the outgoing product.
Yeah. And you got 2 snow modes. Wow. 7. I would not even remember all those.
Yeah, and the deep snow mode actually disables the traction control. Traction control can be the enemy.
Sure, I can dig you
snow.
down. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like a lot of those in the winter. They would start you out in like 3rd gear so you wouldn't spin. Does this do that in snow mode where it starts you in a higher gear at the launch?
It does manage power to the wheel, so you don't, as you say, don't overspin.
Yeah. Because I'm in Colorado, so we're snow country, so we get a lot of experience.
We're going to go left in 1/10 of a mile. So right here. Now we have some fun.
Yeehaw! Wow, we got the 50 pretty quick.
And then we have the manual button in the center here, right? So if you want to go full paddle shifting, you press that.
Okay, that's cool.
And what this will do is give you full control of the transmission. But if you run it to red line and forget that you need to shift, it'll shift for you.
Oh.
And if you run it down to the lugging limit, it'll upshift for you.
That's good. That's good. I mean,
but otherwise, you're under control.
These cars are getting so smart, you can't hardly crash them anymore, and you can't mess up too much. I mean, in the old days, for kids, you want to get to your children when they go to college the safest vehicle you can, and these new vehicles are just, they won't let you run into things, they won't let you fly off the mountain. It's amazing what all this technology's done. I mean, you don't even have to be smart to drive anymore. It's just like towing trailers used to be, you had to know a few things, but not anymore. It's an interesting time. We're not going to have any accidental deaths pretty soon.
Yeah, I had a teenager going through getting his license, and the big thing is parallel parking. It's always a big challenge for the
They let you cheat like that? You're doing your test?
You get to use the cameras and everything, but yeah, they step out of the vehicle and tell you to park.
Well,
so
you can do anything. That's
if you
cool.
got a vehicle that'll auto park, then
That's true. That's true. I remember parallel park when I was a kid. That was a tough thing. I do it now with trucks and trailers. That's part of your CDL test. But yeah, that is awesome, man. Yes, indeed. What do now? I mean, I'll shut back here. To scare all the local people. Right, where do you go? Nope, let's go the other way. Oh yeah, this is awesome. Geez, we're going so fast. Knocking the camera around. That is awesome. Yeah, it's a quick response. You get the right gear, the right RPMs. Where's my tach? Oh, there's the outside ring. Okay, 2800. Start singing that song, I Can't Drive 55.
And nice in the sport mode and manual, gives you a nice big gear display. So third gear.
Oh, that's good. I think it's cool to have a little speed limit in there. It actually recognizes that with the cameras or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm always looking at my my GPS for my little speed limit thing. That's where they mostly are, but nice to have everything right in the dash.
And it's pretty clever, like on the freeway where you have a truck speed and a car speed, it'll pick out, it detects the right speed limit.
That's good. That's how California is. With trailers going to drive 55 out there, it drives me insane. But wow, so the gear spacing's a little different on this, huh? Or are they all the same?
All the 10 speeds are the same, but it's the gear spacing is sort of equal. So we have very good ratio spacing.
Yeah, a lot of these vehicles, first gear is way down there.
And in some vehicles, you can go second and boom, third right away, and they're set up for fuel economy or whatever. But this is very well balanced from a gear
also, I'm sure this does hold the gear differently between sport and like eco.
Yeah. So very much so. In sport mode, we'll let the engine run a little bit better. So you'll run in lower gears. If it detects aggressive driving, we'll do a thing called upshift inhibits.
Oh, really?
Which basically will allow you to hang at a high RPM for a while, because it'll assume if you've backed out of the throttle that you're probably going to go right back into it.
Yeah.
And additionally, as we get into like some heavy braking, we'll get some braking downshifts to keep the engine speed up under the assumption that you're going to get right back into the throttle and come out of the corner. So you'll be right in the power band.
Oh, that's cool. So I go right to the track. Show off to all those little Porsches out there, or Cayennes, or whatever the SUVs are.
Yeah, no doubt. We've had this at the track, right? We've had Billy Johnson driving it at VIR, and our guys, my guys, have been at a couple of our tracks in Michigan doing the development and tuning work.
Yeah.
So it may not be how most of our customers use the product, but it's certainly capable.
Oh yeah. Well, you can go out to your track up north of Detroit and chase the deer and all that stuff on that track. You got really good banks up there. You can get some speed out of that.
Yeah, we use the track really as a surrogate for some of the twisty roads here we're about to go on. If the vehicle works on the track with tight turns, heavy braking, accelerations, and you manage cooling.
I'm testing things. Windshield's loose, you think?
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah. I must be scared. I'm going so fast, I'm scaring my camera. There's 2 accidents out here. There's probably people looking for the speeders. So this is a lot faster than the 3.5 EcoBoost that it replaces. Twin turbo.
Yes, it is absolutely quicker.
I'm sure it's lighter, but yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the 3.5.
Yeah, it's more power, right? We were at 365 horsepower and 350 foot-pounds on the outgoing Sport. That was mated to, it was a front-wheel drive, so it was front-heavy, 6-speed transmission versus now, rear-wheel drive, 10-speed transmission.
Yeah.
So a lot of advantages to getting power to the ground.
So this is dual port too, port and direct, and injection.
Yes, that's correct. It's a PFDI.
Yeah, this is good. And that kind of weight ratio you did for distribution of weight, this thing ought to be fun on corners. You're gonna be able to just pull them off a little bit and just slide a little bit. Yeah, I can see this being a lot of fun.
You gotta spend time in the car. You may as well make the best of it.
That's true. Yeah, we do. We spend a lot of time in our vehicles. And this has been more practical. I've had on several Mustangs, but this is so much more practical than a Mustang. Colorado, every time the winter come, and I do a few donuts on the on-ramp, because that's when I sold my Mustangs. But, even with traction control, the snow they were not made for each other. But this one here, I can see it.
Yeah, you get on the throttle through here a little bit. It'll hold. And the brakes are there for you if you need them.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Well, that was good. I got up over 5,000 RPM before I get pulled over. Yeah. Yeah, we're missing all the cool garage sales.
We got all the cargo space to buy anything you want.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Or we could trailer back the tractor that's for sale.
That's an idea.
Can't do that in the Mustang.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, you got it. I'm an old man, and a Mustang or any car, you kind of crawl into them like a go-kart, and I hate crawling out of a car. I don't even own a car anymore. I like this. This is like a truck. You got a pedestal kind of seat. You're setting up like a dining room table chair, and then you just go out and you go back in, and you don't have to climb out of a hole or a big threshold. So this, to me, this is comfortable. This is like a truck, and I appreciate it. I do not sit well in cars, and especially not two doors. I've always got grandkids with me. You gotta have four doors.
Yeah, and one of the when we take the ST from Focus and Fiesta into a product like this, one of the considerations we take in one of the things we take into consideration is ingress and egress.
Yeah.
So our cars will have a lot more aggressive seat bolstering on the cushion,
right.
And it's really nice to have when you're doing this dynamic driving, but the ease of it getting in and out of these vehicles is really important to our customers.
So the ST does have different seats?
This ST is the same foam as basically the same seat as the Platinum with the different cover.
Okay, the bolsters.
But we decided that was appropriate based on the fact that if we got too aggressive with seat bolstering, it would actually make it more difficult to get in and out of the vehicle.
Right, when you're old, you got to be able to slide off the seat.
And it's a pretty high. It's a high up vehicle.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
Unless you want to go down this road, you're the boss.
Well, I wonder where the dead end. If there's a place to run dead end. Scare the natives here. Whoa! Oh, maybe there's a tree at the dead end. We're turning around here in the woods, but we're using the front camera. I love that. So this is really be cool on off-road. Well, that's cool. So this is a little lighter. So curb weight on this is 40. How much?
Yeah. So outgoing Sport, Explorer Sport was just over 5,000 pounds curb weight, and curb weight on the base ST is 4778.
That's what I was thinking. The old ones were 4,000 or 5,000 pounds because they're good solid weight. But if you got to get best fuel mileage, you got to strip them down. So the aluminum is new for this model too.
Yeah. So the use of lightweight materials, both in body panels and through the chassis, are a significant enabler to the weight reduction as well as the weight distribution. Moving the battery, for example, rearward in vehicle was done for weight distribution as well.
I am here with Keith Erickson, and he knows all kinds of stuff. I was with him on the Ford Ranger drive, and now I'm here in an Explorer, and he's lost, so we're driving this off-road, and this is the limited, which is the only way you get the hybrid. And he was telling me that we're going to put it in terrain mode.
It's a mode called trail.
Trail mode, and that will disconnect the traction control and holds the RPMs a little more for each gear.
Correct.
So will that make me spin or not spin?
It allows you to have a little more wheel spin, so that when you're going through mixed terrains on a trail, such as mud and heavier dirts, that when you need to be able to get through them and spin the tires a little bit to maintain your momentum,
Right.
it allows that.
Well, that's good. That's what I've learned, with all the ATV stuff we do, is that you got to have momentum a lot of times when you're on the trail.
That's correct. So
Okay.
we're going to roll into this, and we're going to take advantage of one other technology, hill descent control.
Oh, hill descent.
Quick button
I like
right
that.
here.
Cool.
So feet are off the pedals,
Oh, wow.
and we're on
Holy
about a
cow, we're going to roll it
21
nose
degree
over.
incline.
What degree were we there?
21 degrees.
Holy cow.
Go ahead and turn hill descent control off, and now we're going to go up a hill that is about 20 degrees.
Now, is there a hill climb mode too?
No, not in
Oh,
this
you
model.
got to give it gas to get up there. Okay, I see.
You need a little bit of momentum.
Dinosaur crossing.
Be careful for dinosaurs around here.
We are
That's
deep.
correct.
I know we're deep here now. Something's deep. It's kind of sticky too.
Got a little.
Oh, look at that. There was a Jurassic Park Explorer in there. Oh, jeepers.
How'd that get there?
Holy cow,
How'd
I
that
don't
get
know.
there?
Another sign. What's this? It says rough terrain ahead.
Rough terrain. This is a perfect area to just bounce over
you
some
didn't
hidden
use hill
logs,
descent
some
coming
rocks.
down there, huh?
No.
You didn't need to use it?
No, I did not need that there.
Okay.
So this area, we want you to pay attention to hybrid and gasoline engine differences, and I think that you'll see that the ride and handling characteristics are very similar.
Oh, wow, look at it. We got to climb a wall now. We're doing wall climbing.
So in this case, we can take a look at the off-road screen, and we can go a side slope here and see what kind of an angle we can get. 15, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Oh, wow. Oh,
There we go.
Holy cow.
Now we're approaching our simulated river crossing.
Okay.
This is about 12 inches of water on top of 8 to 10 inches of river rock. River rock being about 2 to 4 inches in diameter.
And I won't short circuit the hybrid battery going through here? Is this down frame level?
Nope. This is a cooled battery, such that there's no venting system we got to worry about. We are uncompromised in our ability to go through water crossings, whether it's a hybrid versus a gasoline engine.
Cool.
And so with this, if you sit and listen, you'll be able to hear the river rock just moving. It's an unstable bottom.
Okay.
So we go through this as you would any water crossing river, 2-4 miles per hour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I hear the rocks. I hear the rocks. Cool.
And then we got a little section where you can just have a little more bounce fun.
Yeehaw! Duke's a hazard. Woohoo! Yeehaw! Oh my gosh, there goes a dinosaur. Who the hell? Oh, that's my
Well,
baggage.
you got Sasquatch here.
Sasquatch. Oh my gosh, just a yield. Did you see one?
And then we slow down here to the pedestrian area.
I see. They're probably more dangerous than that Sasquatch back there. So,
really?
I want to chase a coyote. See if they can feed one to the dinosaur. Oh, this is where I put the hill thing on?
Yep.
Okay.
One push of the button right there.
Okay.
So you're starting it at 0 miles per hour on this descent. It'll allow it to accelerate up to about 4 in control.
Now, is this the one where you can use your cruise control speed thing to change it?
No, you use the pedals to adjust the speed.
Oh, so you accelerate it. Okay. Okay. Yeehaw! Woohoo! Oh my goodness. And that is, it's like 21, 22.
It's degrading a little bit.
23.
How about that?
Yeah.
And then you can accelerate and override it, and it'll come back in later when you're going slow, or you can just hit the button really quick and turn it off.
Oh! Am I in four-wheel drive? I guess it's always in four-wheel drive.
It's intelligent four-wheel drive.
all
It's
automatic.
constantly figuring out when you need it.
I love that you can leave the thing running, leave the air conditioner on, and either run, it'll go electric or it'll go gas engine. Because that's nice. 'Cause it's a hot day here in Oregon. Now I can go fast?
You can go to your comfort
Oh,
level.
my comfort level. Okay. My camera bag might fly out the door. My comfort level. Oh, you gotta take these curves like this fairly fast. You'd fall over. You know that, don't you?
I don't think we have a risk of falling over.
Hear those rocks? And we can just sit here and that battery won't blow up or nothing.
No, it will not blow
Won't
up.
catch on fire. Won't arc. Come bzz, bzz.
Fully contained. Fully contained.
That is too cool. I'm ready for this to come out in the 150. I'll be ready to buy one. I want that generator and a PTO. I want that one in that Ford 150 hybrid. What can you tell me about that?
I unfortunately do not work on any of the F-Series programs, and I do not know about their product plan.
Oh, if you don't know, then you can't tell anybody, huh?
That's correct.
I understand this.
And there's certain Ford communications team members that might shoot me if I did know
I
anything and
know.
talk about it now.
Every
Come
time
on.
I talk to somebody, they shoot the guy I talk to. I don't know why. It's getting
You
old.
just tried
I gotta
tricking me, that's all.
Try to find new people to talk to because the other ones are... Okay, which